I'm kind of known for innovation as far as boards that are totally new. There's quite a few designs that are original designs with me. There was very little design into the classic and traditional longboards, contrasting that to the shorter boards, so that it had progressed into something that was more functional, had a higher degree of performance, and so taking those characteristics and putting them into the longboard changed. It made it a modern longboard.
It's a Walden, it's a magic model, and I absolutely love it. It's a great longboard. You can kind of paddle into this mushy stuff like this, but I take it out in the big surf, and it paddles really well, it surfs really well, it turns really well, and it's a lot of fun.
I started surfing in about 1963. Started out on a balsa board, and all the boards back then were 60s were made of balsa, so I happened to get an old one and started with that. The longboards had completely faded out, and there was literally nobody riding a longboard anymore. I found an old longboard underneath the house in Hawaii there and started surfing it, and it broke in half, and so I decided to make a new one. So I became the longboard kind of guy early on, because a lot of times a shaper or a designer will have to depend upon somebody else doing the surfing. I have an idea, I shape the board, I go out in the water and I surf it, and there's nothing lost in translation.
There's a little cult following. I have friends that are surfers, and one of them's a Walden guy, you know, he wears Walden shirts, and I think people that are into his boards are super into his boards. But
I started integrating a lot of the shortboard design into the longboard rather than making the old traditional classic longboard. You know, I'm actively working on quite a few different avenues of design to meet different needs. And a lot of these come from my own need. It's, you know, I'm 61 now. There's a lot of my customers, you know, that have the same need. And so, you know, like I said, there's nothing lost in translation, because what I want, I create, you know, from the very beginning, taking that old longboard, thinking, you know, this board, it's okay, but I can make this better. And so I've always had the mantra, kind of like, what can I do to make this better? What can I make it, you know, to nose ride better, to turn easier, and that sort of thing. And so that's been what I've always done.